You. Yeah, you. You need some recovery in your life? I can help with that. Welcome to Recovery with Anna. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Recovery with Anna. And today's topic is one of my favorite topics. It is one day at a time, or ODAT if you're texting, because ain't nobody got time to spell out one day at a time. So, if anybody ever texts you ODAT, it means you need to live one day at a time. So what does one day at a time mean, and how do you live your life one day at a time? Because, I mean, I got things to do. How do I live for today? That is the question. How do I live just for today, one day at a time? So, my childhood was slightly traumatic. There was abuse, and I grew up sort of feeling alone. And I carried that with me, especially in early sobriety. I would live and sit in that past. And for me, when someone suggested, you should really try living one day at a time, it meant stop living in the past, because it already happened and you can't change it. And so I did okay with that. So I started living for today. And then all of a sudden I started thinking, oh man, I gotta make a doctor's appointment, or I gotta pay this bill, or I gotta do this, or I have to work this shift this Saturday. And I was living in the future. So all of a sudden living one day at a time wasn't happening anymore, because I was in the future. And the hard thing about that is that if you're living in the future, you're essentially putting yourself through that situation that you're worried about or stressed out about. You're putting yourself through it twice. So, how do I not do that? I just think, I'm just gonna make it through today, and whatever I have to do tomorrow will happen tomorrow. And when I get to tomorrow, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get through that day. So when it comes to sobriety, sometimes things can test us and be really difficult. There's been a lot of times where I thought, I'm not gonna make it through this day sober. I can't do this. And I always reach out, and the one thing that they always tell me is, just make it through today. If you can make it through today, you can make it through tomorrow. Like, just worry about today. So that's easier for me, because I start to think, okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock. If I can just not drink for 5 more hours, then I made it through today. And that's really powerful, and that's what one day at a time is all about. Just make it through today, because sometimes that is the hardest thing we can do. And sometimes it's easy. Sometimes we have great days, and it makes one day at a time enjoyable. But on those hard days, remind yourself, just for today, I can make it through today. And that's how you live one day at a time. Thank you so much, and subscribe, like, if you want. And also, there's going to be links down below if you feel like you're struggling and you might need help with something. Thanks for watching. See you next week.